North Korean hackers might have just pulled up the largest heist of cryptocurrency this year. In just 12 minutes, North Korean hackers were able to steal $285 million from Drift Protocol. And this wasn't something that they just did willy-nilly by burning an exploit. This took months of a sophisticated operation where they gathered so much information that they were able to pull this off. Let's kind of talk about like what exactly is Drift. Drift is a decentralized exchange, or DEX, built on Solana. This protocol allows users to place futures bets on whether crypto will go up or down. And guys, I'm not a crypto expert, so I'm going to try to explain things as I can, but I might not be the best channel for this breakdown. So if you want more information, I'm sure there's plenty of cryptocurrency creators out there that have covered this topic as well. I'm just covering it from the cybersecurity perspective, tracking North Korean threat actors. So this is a smart contracts betting app, and all the funds that you put in on these bets gets held on this exchange. And at the time of the attack, Drift had about $285 million of users' money sitting in a vault protected by multi-stage security systems. This is something that takes a lot of work and obviously is a multi-chain of failure. Not unless you compromise the people who have the keys. So back in 2025, in the fall, these North Korean threat actors created a quantitative trading firm. But the thing is, this trading firm was just a front for their activity. It wasn't really real. This firm had a competitive website, real LinkedIn, and real social proof of existence. And the crazy thing is, they didn't just email people, they also showed up in person. Members of this firm attended major cryptocurrency conferences across a multitude of countries all throughout 2025 and 2026. They met the contributors and owners of Drift face to face. They had conversations, had coffee, got to know them. This is a great example of good social engineering by the threat actors. In between December 2025 and January 2026, they took it a step further. They became a legitimate partner of Drift. They even deposited $1 million into this vault just to prove that they were serious about becoming a partner. So for all Drift was concerned, they were a legitimate partner helping to build out the product. Now that they've established trust over the past 4 months, they moved on to their next objective. They targeted 2 of the Drift contributors specifically. The first was a developer who they tricked into cloning a repository, except this repository had malicious code that took advantage of a vulnerability in VSCode and the Cursor AI agent. And the crazy thing about this vulnerability, just opening the folder was enough to compromise the victim's machine. The second contributor that they compromised, they did a little bit more creative social engineering. They sent him a test flight product through Apple's test flight platform. And if you don't know, test flight is Apple's pre-release distribution tool. So if you're building an app on the Apple Store, you can use test flight to send betas to users. But the downside to this is test flight completely bypasses the App Store's security controls. There's no validation done on the apps in test flight, and that's how they trick this user into downloading a malicious application. So with access to these specific contributors' machines, these North Korea threat actors had everything they needed to gain access to the device and steal the key to authorize major transactions on Drift. Now, honestly, this is typical hacker stuff. I mean, this is nothing surprising to me. Like, you see this story time and time again, but this is where it gets really cool. They created their own cryptocurrency token called Carbon Vote. And they took a couple $1,000s, started trading it, made it look like a legitimate coin, built some hype around it, and fed it into Drift's system. And this system made it seem like this Carbon Vote was worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And now, since the attackers had the compromised credentials, they went ahead and pushed an update that normally would have hours of review and a time delay built in as a safety net. But with the credentials, they were able to turn the delay off, pushing it immediately. After this compromise was complete, they started draining the vaults. $285 million sitting in the vault of Drift, all of user deposits gone in 12 minutes. They immediately transferred the funds from Solana over to Ethereum, being able to fragment it across wallets faster and more aggressively than any other DPRK hack that's been done to date. By the time Drift was able to suspend withdrawals and deposits, the damage was done. All right, you might be wondering why this matters. This wasn't just a one-off thing. North Korea has been targeting cryptocurrency holders and platforms for years in order to steal money to funnel to North Korea's nuclear weapon program. The United Nations actually estimates that DPRK has stolen over $3 billion in funds from crypto wallets since 2017. And that's not the only thing North Korean hackers are doing. They're also infiltrating the US tech market to pose as developers or other engineering type role. And they're funneling the laptops over to laptop farms for a remote worker to pretend to work as an IT worker for these companies. And then they're sending their paychecks also to funnel North Korean nuclear weapon programs. And this Drift operation marks a major shift in North Korean threat actor activities. Before, they were focused on developing and finding exploits to steal this currency, but now they're doing it just from social engineering alone. And as always, people are much harder to secure than technology. And what also was really interesting about this story is that attackers spent real time planning, spinning up fake companies, building trust with Drift just to pull off this attack. This wasn't a smash and grab single factor VPN exposed to the internet, ransomware operation. This was months of planning. And it worked. And the decentralized finance space has spent years updating their security posture. And North Korea walked right past it by targeting the users themselves.